during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good. We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't have. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III.
So many of you probably watched what took place between Donald Trump and Zelenskyy, and whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, lots of people are thinking that Donald Trump screwed up, but here's the reality of the situation. I thought this was a great post from Michael McCoon here on Facebook. He got 47,000 shares, 8,700 likes, and let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, because he's a lifelong practitioner of martial arts strategy and philosophy, and he explained the difference between what you believe you witness and what actually happened, because the fact is Donald Trump has been under constant political persecution since the beginning of his first term, and over time he has learned to be patient and calculated and know who to trust and who not to trust, because, you know, the first time he was in office, he brought on some people that weren't the most trustable. So this time around, he's doing things very different, as you guys can see. And what we're going to get into in the rest of this video is the effect this has on the crypto market. We're going to talk about XRP. We're going to talk about what's happening with the first ever crypto summit on March 7th. So also what JD Vance had to say about fixing Biden's mess for inflation. So a lot to unpackage for you guys in this video. But Zelenskyy was invited to the Oval Office, and both Trump and JD Vance knew exactly what he was going to do. He would use this opportunity in front of the American people to make a power play. Both Trump and Vance anticipated this. When Zelenskyy began appealing to the emotions of the American people, JD Vance stepped in, accusing him of disrespecting Donald Trump. And I'll play the clip for you guys in a little bit to listen to, but it's important that you know this, because this was a brilliant strategy, and it's important to understand what Zelenskyy is trying to gain access to, which is NATO. Trump knew this, but could not allow it to happen. If Ukraine joins NATO, the U.S. would be bound by NATO's collective defense agreement. An attack on one is an attack on all. Now, consider the larger implications here. Ukraine and Russia, they despise each other, obviously. If Ukraine were to become a NATO member, any future skirmish between them would obligate the U.S. to enter into direct conflict with Russia, and this would mean World War III. And if that were to happen, China would have to choose a side. Now, they would almost certainly align with Russia because of the BRICS nations. You got Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. They're already in agreements with trade, as you guys have seen on the channel, to undermine the US dollar. So what you witnessed tonight was a setup. Trump and JD Vance knew that the only way to achieve peace was to strategically align, at least on the surface, with Russia. Why? Because Russia would never sign a peace treaty if Ukraine were admitted into NATO. And this is why Trump dismantled Zelenskyy's argument, and when Zelenskyy, seeing his play failed, tried to backtrack and offer a treaty, and Trump refused. So Zelenskyy's real intent was clear. He would not agree to peace unless security guarantees were in place. But what was he actually saying? That NATO must accept Ukraine. However, Russia would never agree to peace, knowing that NATO, their historical adversary, would surround them. So Zelenskyy, Putin, and Trump all know this. Zelenskyy, thinking he had Democratic support, believed he could make this bold move on live television, but Trump and Vance saw right through it and outmaneuvered him. And obviously, you guys are going to see Democrats spin this in which way that they want, to try and make Trump look bad. Why would they try and make the president of the United States look bad? It's because they're trying to play another side that people don't understand. And they knew this. In the short term, Democrats and the media would try to use this movement against them, but they all knew they had 2 years before midterms to prove their strategy was the right one. So they held their ground brilliantly so. And now Zelenskyy will have no choice but to back down and accept Trump's terms. But here's the genius part. Trump is actually protecting Ukraine without dragging the U.S. into war. By negotiating a mineral deal, Trump ensures that Americans will be involved in Ukraine's mining industry. industry. And this prevents Russia from launching an invasion because attacking Ukraine would mean endangering American lives, something that would force the US to respond. So Trump is playing both sides like a master chess player. In the end, Zelenskyy will have no choice but to concede because without U.S. support, Ukraine cannot win a prolonged war against Russia. That's why they've been needing money from the Biden administration to be sent over there for military equipment. And once U.S. companies have mining operations in Ukraine, Putin will be able to attack without triggering massive international consequences. So don't underestimate Donald Trump. In this game of chess, he's 10 moves ahead of everyone else. And so let's dive into what else he is doing, because within the first few weeks, he has signed so many executive orders. It's shaking up the entire American economy and the crypto market as well too. And not in the best way that people think right out the gate, but I thought this is important to share with you guys in this video. So pay close attention over the next few minutes, because we're going to talk about what's actually happening on the charts from a macro perspective, where we all are for alt season, total 3, the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the chart going back to the last bull run, and where we're at in terms of the lawsuit for Ripple versus the SEC, the XRP price chart, and some other altcoin projects to keep on your guys' radar so you can know which sectors of crypto are going to receive the largest injection of liquidity during the next leg up. So if you guys are feeling bullish, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, comment 777. And if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, you know what to do. Confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
he's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble. Wait a minute. No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone. And we are thankful. I said thanks.
You haven't been alone. You haven't been alone. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment, and your men are brave, but they had to use our military. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again, just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire. I want a ceasefire because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about a ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me. That wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
So whether you guys like Trump or don't like him, what you have to admire is his ability to play chess and do business and just have power moves. It's absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. He just confirmed tariffs on Canada and Mexico will move forward. The key dates: March 4th, a 25% tariff on Canadian imports will begin. March 12th will be additional levies on steel and aluminum. And with global trade tensions rising, this could be bullish for U.S. manufacturing, domestic production. What do you guys think about that? Or will it create economic uncertainty and more volatility in the markets?
We're on time with the tariffs, and it seems like that's moving along very rapidly. We've been mistreated very badly by many countries, not just Canada and Mexico.
You want to allow drugs to come through our southern border? We're going to tariff you. You want to allow them to come through Canada? We're going to tariff you. China, if you're going to allow this stuff to get sold in our country, largely produced in China, we're going to add another 10% to your share. We are going to cost your countries, your economies. We're going to cost your businesses billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. If you think you're going to poison Americans, it's not going to happen. You're not going to destroy our youth. You're not going to destroy our society. You're not going to destroy our families. You're not going to do it. It's going to cost you. I'm going to put an end to it. Laura, when my father sent that 20 minutes ago, I literally cheered out loud.
Now, if you guys haven't seen this video right here by Ray Dalio talking about principles for dealing with the changing world order, he talks about this and how countries go through trade wars before they go through physical wars, and what this does to the country's primary currency, and how we see great empires rise and fall over the past 500 plus years. So this is an incredible video to watch after this one. It's 43 minutes. But when major once in a decade or millennia type announcements take place like this, like tariffs, they haven't done these in how many years? Well, of course, that's going to create volatility and uncertainty in the market because people just don't know the effect that that's going to have. But if they're tariffing imports for stuff, well, crypto is not being imported. Crypto is digital, right? It's through the blockchain. So crypto is the most affected from all this different news, regardless of whether it actually impacts crypto or not is not the question. It's the uncertainty that creates these drops. For example, right here on the 3rd of February, Trump initially announced the tariffs, and we saw XRP's price go from $2.80 all the way down here to $1.75, dropping 30 to 40% in a matter of like a day or two. That was drastic. Well, look at this tariff news when he's implementing it. Dropped from $2.18 to $1.95. Now, it might seem like it's more, but it's a psychological thing that happened, $1.95. The percentage wasn't as much. And so what we need to look at are the facts here on the charts. And so what I've done is I pulled up Ethereum to the US dollar price chart back here for that 2016, 2017 bull run. And what XRP is doing is very, very similar. So go on the left-hand side of the screen and look at the 2nd of December when XRP broke out. Now, simultaneously, look at the bottom of the screen right here on the relative strength index on the daily chart. You can see the RSI was at 93. So the price made a new high and then sold off in a falling wedge, while the RSI dropped all the way down to 45, bounced from there, and then formed a second high, which was a higher high on the price chart, but a lower high in the relative strength index. So this is a bearish divergence, and this shows that momentum is slowing down from bullish momentum to bearish momentum. So we saw a sell-off from over $3 when XRP formed a new all-time high, and the RSI dropped all the way down here with that tariff news to about 33, and then bounced up to $2.80. And now we've seen the price come back down within this zone of support right here that has bounced off multiple times since this 10th of December. So this is a strong zone of support. And the RSI currently is at 35. Now on the right-hand side of the screen, let's analyze Ethereum's chart back then, because Ethereum made a new high right here on the 13th of March of 2016 at $14. 14 bucks, okay? Then we saw this sell-off right here, very similar to what we saw happen back here by the 29th of December for XRP. Ethereum's RSI went from 86, overbought conditions, dropped all the way down here to about 45, and then we saw a bounce from here to a new high, upwards of $22, just like we saw a bounce for XRP to a new high of over $3. The RSI comes up, puts in a lower high at about 75, while putting in a higher high on the price chart right here. So this is another bearish divergence, just like we saw happen for XRP, putting in a higher high, but then a lower high on the relative strength index here on the left. Now look on the right on the relative strength index, a lower high for Ethereum's chart. So obviously it's not identical. There are some differences here in terms of like the percentage of the sell-off or how long this lasted, but it's key to understand this so you guys can know how to look for confluence and what to spot here, because the relative strength index is a momentum indicator, and the smartest move is not to buy when the RSI on like a daily, a 3-day, a 1 week, or even a month which is one of the most macro, is in overbought conditions. You want to buy when the RSI is oversold close to 30 or below 30. So right now we're at 35. Look at where Ethereum was when the relative strength index was at 35. It was all the way right here at about $9. So Ethereum could not hold the support that it bounced off right here on the 1st of August of 2016, the 5th of July, and even back to the 27th of May. And so it broke below that, causing the relative strength index to go from like 35, 36, all the way down here to 25, all the way at the bottom of the screen below 20. So there is an area of concern right now because we are still in a downtrend since the 17th of January, and Trump just keeps making these massive announcements that shake up the market. And when he does stuff that is considered unorthodox or rapid or impulsive, even though long term that could have a great effect, in the short term, it spooks people in the market because it just creates uncertainty, right? And uncertainty is not good for risk on assets like crypto in the short term. But in the long term, keep paying attention. You guys are going to see what's about to happen. So we see the support right here at about $2.25. XRP did break below it and it wicked off of the support from the 10th of December. So in my opinion, we could be in one of two places here, okay? We could be roughly right around where we were at $9 to $10 that Ethereum was at back here on the 17th of December, or we've already seen the bottom like we saw on the 5th of December. It's just that the RSI didn't come all the way down below 20 and it came down to like 30, 31, 32. So regardless of whether we've seen the bottom, or let's say, for example, we rally up within this zone as resistance and we see another drop down to $2 or even further to the downside for that, I think the lowest that we could go for XRP could be to back test these levels back here from August of 2021. That was resistance during the complacency stage high after that bull run was in. So that's like $1.40 at the worst case scenario down here. If we were to liquidate down here, then this would just be a longer consolidation for XRP. That would be like this on the right-hand side of the screen for Ethereum between $9 to $7. But either way, I'll zoom out on the macro for you guys long term and I'll explain what I see happening for XRP long term, because on the right hand side of the screen, look at what happened to Ethereum after it bounced off $7 for the last time of the support. It rallied up, it broke this descending resistance, got rejected from $11 right here, came back down to backtest this descending resistance as support, and then just started to work its way on through here, obviously being volatile on the way up to the previous high of 17th of June. But when it broke it decisively. And we just saw this massive green candle come in. And then we just saw Ethereum absolutely explode 374 days later. So for an entire year, Ethereum rallied all the way up here to $1,400. So when there's the most fear in the market, that is the best time to do what? To obviously buy. But when we are the most oversold in the market on key indicators like the relative strength index, the MACD, or the stochastic RSI, that's confirmation and confluence that it's the best time to buy. And again, I'm not providing you guys with financial advice. These videos are purely for education and informational purposes only, so go consult a financial advisor. You could still lose money in the markets, even if you bought right now. And let's say there's another thing that Trump says or announces that liquidates a lot of people, and we see another flash crash like this for XRP. And if you buy at $2.19, or if you bought at $2 or $2.10, and we come back down to $1.70 or even $1.40, well then yeah, you could be looking at this video and be like, hey, he said it's a great time to buy. Because you're thinking too short term for this, when there are these events like this that happen in the short term that cause quick liquidations. So that's why we need to look at the macro and understand relatively when is the best time to enter and to exit the market on the macro. And what that means is over the long term, not the short term. Because if you're planning on like swing trading or like just day-to-day trading in the markets for this, it's very difficult because there is a lot of manipulation to shake people out of their positions. But in the macro, if you're a long-term holder, we'll look at Ethereum's chart and look at how much growth took place after that breakout happened. I mean, even if I were to measure it like $12 right here, Ethereum went over 12,000%. Now, is XRP going to go over 12,000% this bull run? We don't know. Most likely not. My price prediction for XRP is anywhere between like $5 to max $30 this bull run, just because of how much money needs to come in, and also because of what the Federal Reserve is doing and what I'll cover in future videos for you guys about the 10-year to 2-year yield curve inversion, about the next up and coming FOMC meetings, the interest rates, all of that stuff on the chart. But I think XRP's future, the rest of this bull run and the rest of this year, is looking incredible. Just looking at the chart right now, this looks absolutely amazing. Even if we see another bottom and the relative strength index comes back down below 30, it gets into the 20 region, I'm going to be deploying a lot more capital into XRP if that were to happen. Because inevitably, I just think this descending resistance is going to break for XRP. We're going to work our way through here, and then we're going to see massive liquidity injections come into the market. because of what Elon Musk and Donald Trump have been doing through the Department of Government Efficiency. If they move through with the Doge dividend, that would do what the CARES Act essentially did by giving $5,000 to American people. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Nothing's been confirmed about that specifically yet, but one thing that is happening is the White House is having a crypto summit March 7th. So in 6 days from right now, this immediate release came out from Washington yesterday that Trump is going to be hosting and delivering remarks at the White House, including prominent founders and other members and CEOs and investors from the crypto industry, as well as members of the president's working group on digital assets. So the summit will be chaired by the White House AI and crypto czar, David Sachs, and administered by the working group's executive director, Bo Hines. Previously, Trump promised to be America's first crypto president. In his week 1 executive order 14178, he declared the policy of my administration is to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets across all sectors of the economy. After the previous administration unfairly prosecuted the digital asset space, specifically through Gary Gensler, the SEC, suing Ripple, Trump's policy vision represents a new era for digital financial technology. The administration is committed to providing a clear regulatory framework, enabling innovation and protecting economic liberty. So if that's their goal, that's not bearish, that's bullish, right? So look at what JD Vance just said about inflation. What is bearish for the US dollar is inflation.
Interviews I did, it was, I think 6 or 7 days after the inauguration. And somebody asked me, well, it's been 6 days. What have you guys done to fix the inflation crisis created by Joe Biden? I'm like, well, first of all, it's been 6 days. We've done a lot in 6 days, but it's going to take some time to fix what Joe Biden broke over 4 years. And we know it is easy, unfortunately, to burn the house down. It takes a little bit of time to build it back up. And here's what we have to do. Because look, the fundamental goal of our immigration policy, of our border policy, of Doge saving taxpayer money, the fundamental goal is we want your children and grandchildren to be able to raise a family in security and comfort in the country that we all love. That is the whole goal of President Trump's agenda.
So that was worded really, really well. Someone could burn down a house in seconds, but it takes time to build it back up. So it's easy to destroy a building because you just come in with a wrecking ball and you knock it down. But to build something that's going to withstand the test of time, it takes strategic planning, it takes strategic building, and you have to go through a lot of hurdles to build the biggest skyscraper. And so what company has faced the biggest hurdles and from a regulatory standpoint? Clearly Ripple. And look at what Senator Loomis just said.
Let's get to crypto, Senator, because you're in New York City today for the Bitcoin Investors Conference. You'll be on several panels later today. I understand last night you bought drinks at a Bitcoin-themed pub key bar. But listen, you paid in cash. Why? How about Bitcoin?
Well, because I spend dollars and save Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an asset that's growing in value, and I know it's volatile. Its short-term volatility has been in existence since it has been in existence. But in the long term, it's growing in value, where the US dollar is by design debasing. Every year, the Fed has it designed so it inflates 2% or more. They try to keep it around 2%, but they can't. And so the US dollar is always declining by design.
Yeah.
And so the scarcity of Bitcoin, the fact that 21 million will only exist in all of time, gives it that certainty, that stability, that scarcity in the long run. And there will be short-term volatility, but over time, as it becomes more ubiquitous, it will become more stable and more valuable.
So dollars are not something to be saved because of inflation. If you're going to just hold money in your bank account, well, inflation is going to eat away at it more than a high interest savings account ever could pay you anyways. Whereas in crypto, volatility is the price that you pay for opportunity. Look at what TechDev just posted here, showing the total 2 chart for altcoins paired up with the global business cycle. And you guys can see the last few bull runs when we've gone from the bear market bottom for Bitcoin to this little green dot right here, where we were for the global business cycle indicator. Now, he doesn't tell you exactly which indicators these are, but it just shows confluence compared to the past, where we've been on this indicator compared to Bitcoin's price chart. And to me, it looks like we're right before the major breakout that happened back in 2021 or 2017. just like I showed you with XRP compared to Ethereum's price chart. Also right here, we can see the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin on the 1 week paired up with the alt season oscillator. With this indicator right here has been below zero. Historically, that's right where we were right after COVID during that consolidation phase. And when I show you the chart in a little bit, you're going to see how uncanny this is. And so once we reverse back to the upside after being below zero, look at what happened. Bitcoin went from like $20,000 to $40,000, and the alt season oscillator rallied up to about 0.27. So the fact that we're barely above zero right now is actually a great sign, while the price chart comes back down for total 3 specifically to $800 billion, because look at what happened back here in December of 2020 when the price chart came down from 157 billion to roughly $112 billion. We back tested the previous range high on the 10th of August as support, and then we bounced off of it. Just this time around, it's taking a little bit longer, which is not that strange because every bull run looks different. If you look at the bull run from 2013 to like 15, then 2016, 17, 2021 compared to the bull run we're going through now, every single bull run is different. So it's not going to look the exact same, but we can see some similarities here. For example, look at where we're at right now. We're back testing the previous high that was the 25th of March. We're at roughly 790, 800-ish billion dollars. We don't need to get super exact because we're looking on the 1 week chart is like a helicopter view of the whole market. Every one of these candles is a week. And the relative strength index is just holding this ascending support right here. Now, if we were to break below this support right here and trend back down to like $600 billion to $500 billion, that might cause a little more concern in the market because then people might be fearful we would go through something like we went through right here. So what we want to see is this zone hold right here. Even if we go sideways for a little bit longer, we want to see liquidity come back into the market, pushing the relative strength index off of this ascending support right here. Because if we look at the past back here on that back test of the 21st of December of 2020, the relative strength index had already gone up to 81 right here, and it pulled back to 66. So we're seeing a deeper pullback from the relative strength index going from 80 on this recent breakout on the 2nd of December, pulling back to 48 right now. So it's not as steep of an ascending support right here as it was in 2021 because the CARES Act, and this goes into the Doge dividend that I just talked about, was passed and signed into law after COVID, injecting so much money in the market really, really fast that caused this massive spike in price action. So if the Doge dividend, if that actually goes through and they keep uncovering more money that has been lost or stolen from the previous administration, in my opinion, that would be a major bullish catalyst to send the market up past $1.2 trillion and get to $2, $3, $4, or even $5 trillion for the peak of this market. But either way, we need to see the relative strength index bounce. We need to see this zone of support at roughly $700, $800 billion hold. And then that's most likely when we see Bitcoin's dominance drop and altcoins take off. So very few altcoins are ready, and you have to know exactly where to look. Because on this chart right here, you guys can see the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin paired up with a couple more indicators that TechDev has on the chart right here. And you guys can see in 2021, when we went from below zero, right here on that back test, that's when the major breakout happened. So we could literally be days or even weeks away from the next major move in the market. And if it doesn't happen, then I don't know, man, maybe I'll be living in a van down by the river. Because this is just all too crazy timing. The lawsuit for Ripple versus the SEC is nearly over. The SEC is dropping their lawsuits versus Coinbase, Consensus, Uniswap, left and right. And the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is the only one really left, or the most important one left. So Congress is backing Judge Torres' ruling that XRP is not a security, because in a recent congressional hearing, lawmakers confirmed her decision reinforcing that XRP is not a security under U.S. law. So the countdown to regulatory clarity for XRP has not just begun, we're seeing it happen in real time, and we're almost there. Now, there are some key things that I can see here on the chart on the weekly for XRP if we compare back to the last bull run right here, or not the last bull run, the bull run of 2016, 2017. And so you guys have seen me draw this up so many times with this symmetrical triangle right here. We've just been in a much bigger symmetrical triangle. And I told you guys about this, back in 2024, 2023, and 2022. I said, watch, when this descending resistance breaks, XRP is going to explode. And that's exactly what happened. Now, it took longer than expected. And, everyone wanted to see XRP go from like this lawsuit news, boom, break through and do this, and then break out even higher. But, you know, it took longer. We had to go through a much more grueling, excruciating consolidation period before the breakout happened, but it happened, right? So we were right. It just took longer. So we don't know when this will happen, but I will tell you guys what's about to happen next. Now, I don't know when it's going to happen. For example, when the breakout took place for XRP outside of this symmetrical triangle back here in March of 2017, we had some consolidation periods. The first one right here only lasted like a week. The next one lasted a lot longer. Okay, so XRP rallied up to 39 cents and it took over 200 days for it to break out again. So we don't know how long it's going to take for XRP to break out. 200 days would push it to June of 2025, which would be more excruciating, would be more grueling for people. But let's look at the key indicator for this video specifically, the relative strength index. And when you subscribe to the channel, I'll bring up other indicators every single day and we'll show you guys different things so you can formulate your own opinion, see confluence from your own point of view that I might not be seeing, and you can share your thoughts in the comments below. So, for example, when XRP broke out back here in May of 2017 to over 37, nearly 40 cents, we saw the relative strength index all the way up here above 92, and on the weekly, overbought conditions, right? Not a good time to buy. So the masses were getting in the market all the way up here and they bought XRP and they had to go through 200 days of consolidation. XRP's price dropped down to 12 cents after that. So imagine buying at 37 cents, 40 cents, seeing the price drop to 12 cents. Of course, you're going to think it's a scam, especially if you're new to the market and you don't understand market cycles and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. If you're still watching this video, man, 20, 30, 40 minutes in, you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel because all I'm talking about here with you are the facts. Now, whether you agree with my point of view about like politics or whatever, that doesn't matter. Let's focus on the facts here. So, on that pullback in that consolidation period between May of 2017 until the breakout in December of 2017, look at what happened for the relative strength index. It dropped from 92 and it held 50. And then we went through that consolidation before the next breakout where the RSI just bounced between 50 and 62. Nothing really happened, didn't really matter. What mattered is the people who accumulate as much as possible at the lowest possible points on the more micro time frames like the daily, the 2-day or the 3-day. Or even the hourly when the relative strength index was the most oversold on the chart. So this is what you want to look for. But during a bull market, we want to see the relative strength index stay roughly above 40 or 50 the majority of the bull run. So right now the relative strength index is at 56. And here's a key thing that I noticed on this breakout right here on the weekly. The relative strength index went upwards of 91, almost identical to what happened on this major breakout right here on the 20th of March. And then also when XRP rallied up even further on the 15th of May. So in my opinion, where we are in the market cycle is we're going through this right here. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to take 200 days before the next breakout happens. It could be less than that, but we need to look at the relative strength index because it's pulled back from 90 and now it's at 56. And so I would expect to just bobble around within this range for a little bit while XRP's price works its way through here until the low for this pullback is in. If it's not yet already in, with XRP going to $1.90 something cents right here, similar to Ethereum back here at $6. If this is the low right here, well, in the macro over the next 6 months, you would be so glad that you not only held your XRP, but that you accumulated more. Now, that's not me telling you what to do. That's just you doing your own research and looking at the key indicators because on the daily for XRP, the relative strength index is at 36. Now, I know it can be kind of confusing because you're like, wait, the RSI is at 56 and at 36. It's all about the time frame. So if I'm on the weekly chart on the macro, the relative strength index is going to be different than it is on the micro or on the day-to-day. Because on this chart, I'm on the daily right here. Whereas this chart right here, every single candle represents 1 week. So this is why we need to look at different time frames as well too. So on the day-to-day, just based on the chart alone, right here is relatively good for XRP. Even if we come back up here and we see a double bottom like this, eventually, I think this is going to break. We're going to do to XRP similar to what happened for Ethereum between the 5th of December of 2016 and the 3rd of June of 2017 for XRP. And then the next move for XRP, I think it'll put it between like $4, $5, or $6. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, the real question is, will the bull run be over after that? Or do we see something like this, aggressive back test, V-shaped recovery, and then a blow off top for XRP above $9, $10? If we see something like that, that's the real question. How high do we go? I don't know. Nobody knows. All you can do is just have your seat buckled as we back up our truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because it's a fact that the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies like XRP are the future. That's the truth. And together we're all running to the top. Now, I did let you guys know that I would share some other projects with you that have promising potential. But the best way to be able to do that is to give you guys access to our research team that shares with you what's happening in the markets in real time, and also some top projects that we're watching within different sectors like AI, DeFi, real world assets, and also explaining what's happening every single day, multiple times per day, because these videos take all day to make a single video. So if you guys want several updates throughout the day about top projects, different altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, airdrop picks, along with crypto news, and getting your questions answered from our research team that has over 8 years of experience in the crypto market, our team will share with you what projects we're watching that we're accumulating in our portfolio if you'd want to see that on a day-to-day basis rather than just watching this video. Because you might be watching this video a week later, 2 weeks later, and if I were to share with you just one project, it might be the wrong time to buy it, because as you guys can see, like look at Hyperliquid, it's down 21% over the past 7 days, whereas Polkadot's down 7%. So because the market's very volatile and it fluctuates every single day, you need to stay plugged in every single day to get real-time updates. So when you click the link in the description below, you can go to bullrunners.com, or you can just click the link that's the first one in the description. It'll take you right here to join Altcoin Pro University. It's only $97 a month. You can pay as you go, no contract, no commitment. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not happy for whatever reason your first 30 days, or if you just don't get any results, if you don't make money, then you can ask for your money back. Worst case scenario, you'll learn something new over the course of 30 days, and it's not the right thing for you. That's fine. We're not holding you hostage here. Best case scenario is the information that you learn, the projects that we share with you, and the knowledge that you gain completely transforms your life. So you could start monthly, if you just want to test the waters, dip your toe in, or you can commit to a year with us and completely change your life for only $970, guys. You're going to save $194. You unlock exclusive bonuses that's listed through the link in the description below. And currently right now we have over 1,000 members, and our goal is to create the gold standard in crypto education. And I just got this message from a member in our community, but I won't share his name for privacy reasons, but he said he just wanted to reach out and tell me that he's been watching our videos for a couple years now. He subscribes to the channel and tells everyone he can about bull runners. So that's awesome. We appreciate you guys for sharing the channel and these videos with your friends, because our goal is to obviously take a no-nonsense, common sense approach along with educating you guys about the cryptocurrency space. So we appreciate that you appreciate this type of information. He said, also, I just paid off $20,000 in taxes and will be buying our first house as a result of following your recommendations, as well as putting the time into joining Altcoin Pro University and getting the best education regarding crypto I have seen yet. And also he said he owes me dinner if he comes to Florida as a result of having enough money from crypto to buy a second home. So this is why I do what I do every single day, make these videos and spend sometimes, guys, some of these videos take like 18 hours to put together. And I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm greedy for testimonies, because if we get more testimonies of people achieving results, then it means we're changing people's lives and then what we're doing's working. So if I'm not helping people achieve results, then I'm not fulfilling my purpose. So let's help you make some money. Let's help you transform your life. Whether you want to make your first dollar online, you want to make a few $1,000 a month, or you want to become the first millionaire in your family tree, tap in right now, click the link in the description below, watch the 26-minute video on the other side, and I will see you guys at the top. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.